Welcome, I'm Belle. This is my classroom. Welcome to another super fun and colorful video. Today I'm gonna be talking to you guys about something that I'm probably gonna get a lot of maybe BS for it, but it's an opinion that I have and it's a very unpopular one. But I thought I would talk about this because at the end of the day I'm a teacher, I'm an educator. So this is something that matters nowadays, especially in our next generation. I think this is something really important. So today I'm going to be talking about how important the Kardashians are for our generation, for the kids, the next generation, if you will. So I'm going to be talking about it, and if you don't like the Kardashians, if you don't like what they represent, this is probably another video for you because I'm gonna be kind of defending them a little bit. So if that triggers you in any way, if you don't like them, if you're gonna come to this video and just spread hate, please click off this video, come back next week for another kind of video, because today this video is for teachers, not a lot for children. If you are really young, this video is not for you. If you are like a preteen teenager, maybe this can help you in some sort of way, I don't know, but this is mostly for like parents and educators and teachers, people who work in education. But before we start the video, please make sure to subscribe to my channel. I put a new video every single Friday. My videos are always super fun and colorful, and I talk about a lot of things. I talk about I tell stories, I teach some vocabulary, I teach some things for kids, but I also talk about education and make a lot of videos, especially recently I've been making a lot of videos for teachers, for educators, for people who work in education, for parents too, if you want to use my videos as a way of inspiration when you educate your children. Maybe this can help you in some sort of way, I'm not sure, but this is for you. So subscribe, click the bell so you receive notifications every time I post a video, because sometimes I put new videos throughout the week and you're not gonna see them if you're not subscribed and if you don't click the bell. So till that, give this video a thumbs up and let's go right into the video. Rise and shine situation. If you haven't seen that, just put rise and shine on YouTube and you see so many memes. Like I'm like overwhelmed by the amount of memes that I'm seeing of this like 3-second clip of Kylie Jenner in one of her vlogs going into Stormi's bedroom and saying rise and shine, but singing, I mean, not so good of a singing voice. She doesn't have that good of a singing voice, so it became a meme. A lot of people are like making fun of her, and I'm sure it doesn't bother her because, I mean, she's Kylie Jenner. I'm sure nothing bothers her. But I thought of making this video because I know that they are kind of a joke for a lot of people because they are not famous for anything special. And I'm gonna like take a minute here to quote my girl Jenna Marbles because she said in one of her videos, I think it's from like 3 years ago, maybe 4 years ago, of her unpopular opinions, and she said that the Kardashians, sometimes we try to put them into a box, like they cannot sing, they cannot act, so why are they so famous? They're not famous for anything that I can put in my little box, so that drives me crazy. And that's something that she points out in her video, in her unpopular opinion video, because we share the same unpopular opinion, I guess. But then she says, if you stop and think that the Kardashians are famous for being who they are, and they are who they are for a living, that's pretty awesome. That's the whole YouTube thing in a family, I guess. That's something that's really important for this generation. That being who you are, it doesn't matter if you are different, being who you are can be like can make a living. You can make a living out of that. So it's so important. And she even mentions in her popular videos, maybe if you think that way, that can take a little bit of pressure off of you, because they're not like harming anyone. They're just being who they are for a living. And I know that online a lot of people have beef, especially with Kylie, because she's a billionaire. Like, is she a billionaire for like, is she really a billionaire? Is she a self-made billionaire or not? And what I think is, it doesn't matter, because she's a 22, I think she's 22, 21, 22. She's a 22-year-old woman, young woman, very, very young woman, who is a boss. She's a CEO, and that's so important for our generation. That's so important for girls all over the world, especially where I live. I live in a country that's not America, that's not in Europe. I live in a country in South America, and it's a country that's really oppressing to young women. So I feel like what she represents is so important for us. And she's a young woman, like, they're all really young. Like the Kardashians, not so much anymore, but the Jenners, they are so young. And to me, they represent a lot. They represent that if you are a woman, if you are young, you can still do whatever you want. You can be a boss, you can be a CEO, you can be whatever you want. And I'm not talking about meritocracy. Of course, this is a whole other issue. I'm not talking about it. I'm just saying that in her own way, she can be a boss. Like, she can be her boss, the boss of who she is, and that, like, no man owns her. So to me, that's so important. That's such an important message to spread, and to, especially to my students. That's what I try to tell them. I don't let, like, boys oppress girls. I don't let anyone own anyone in my classroom. So to me, that's what's really fascinating about the Kardashians, because they are mostly girls. Like the boy, like Rob, he is not that big. So the girls are the bosses, especially Kris Jenner. Kris Jenner is like, I know that she gets, again, a lot of BS for who she is, but it doesn't matter. She is, like, they are the biggest family. They built an empire out of what some people can say nothing, but what I say, themselves. They built an empire out of who they are, and that's so inspirational for me as a teacher. I know that a lot of people can be looking at this video and be like, okay, right, like, stop, shut up, you don't know what you're talking about. But, like, to me, this is so inspiring. I feel like I can actually tell my students and give them examples of people who did it. You know, I know that they came from a wealthy background, so it was definitely easier for them than it is for, like, kids in South America. But they can still, the most important message for me is, do not let anyone, especially any man, own you, because nobody owns you. You are your own boss. You can do whatever you want in your life. You can be who you are. You don't have to be a certain way. You don't have to walk a certain way. You don't have to work in a certain job. So you just have to be you. And that's the message that I'm trying to, that I always try to spread in my lessons. So I don't want to like keep talking in circles. But when the Rise and Shine video came out and a lot of people were making memes, I was like, okay, do you guys really think she cares? She's probably like happy that a lot of people are making these videos. But I have to say, the Rise and Shine videos are funny. But I'm like, in a certain way, I'm happy that people like watch her vlogs and always know what she's doing. Means that she's relevant, and that's important for young women around the world. I feel like that's something that we should give them credit for, because they started a new path for young people, especially young women. I feel like they can be good role models for young women. So that's the message that I'm trying to spread, maybe. If you don't, feel free to disagree with me. I'm just trying to look at the bright side of things. I always do that. I feel like some things we can just cancel. I know we have a canceling mindset right now, especially with YouTube, with the internet. We have a canceling mindset, but some things we cannot cancel. So we might as well just go with the flow and use it for the best, to spread a good message. So that's what I'm trying to say in this video. So if you liked this message, please give this video a thumbs up. If you didn't like, tell me in the comments below why you disagree with me. You feel free to give this video a thumbs down too. I don't mind, like, it's your opinion. I respect you, I see you, and of course there is a bad side of the Kardashians. Of course there is, but I'm just trying to be positive, and maybe if we, like Jenna Marble said, maybe if we try to think of them as people who are famous and super rich for being who they are, maybe you can not feel pressure to hate them so much, I guess. So give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, click the bell, because again, I don't always talk about the Kardashians, I talk about a lot of things. So stay tuned for my next videos, and I see you next week for a brand new video. Bye!